I can do it.
Right. For it.
Listened earlier. We started off. This was after we had. We ended 2 sessions ago with the fight against the troll and the ogre Howda. So last session, we moved on from that into what looked like a dilapidated temple of some sort. While exploring, Dasani got stabbed by more of those the quicklings and the guys who explode into radiant light when you kill them.
Thank you, Sarah.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Anytime. Just let me know when you're feeling that one again, and then I'll show up.
We dealt with a mimic which tried to eat my face, and a weird tree hand out of a spider web before we encountered a group of dryads and various other fey creatures who were mostly in a stupor and or looking incredibly corrupted. We were able to cleanse the corruption from the dryads, who then led us to the lair of the Blight Lord. The well-intentioned attempt to sneak up on the Blight Lord went horrifically badly. And so we fought the Blight Lord and his animated trees. Yop went deep 6 and shot Betty to death after getting knocked unconscious. So still have that to deal with apparently. And that was largely it. It took us a while to communicate with the dryads, which we did through cartoon level drawings. And then the fight with the Blight Lord and his group of animated trees. And that was pretty much the highlight. There was a satyr, which we were barely able to communicate with, which was able to guide us back to where we came through into the Feywild. And that's about where we ended.
Yes.
Unless I am missing
You
anything.
forgot the part where we almost got a blink dog.
I did. Ravager, I believe you just wanted
Ravager, yeah.
That's the one note that's in Sean's notebook.
Yeah. It is one of 3 notes. The fourth
Oh my
note,
god.
The fourth note just says we continue into the woods.
And so I believe we were kind of discussing what kind of rest we wanted to take, or if we just wanted to head back to Chandria directly.
Well, where are we right now?
We kind of sped through some stuff. You guys have had an opportunity to okay, so in order for the plot to move along and us skipping the boring shit, when you go back to those ruins, there was a satyr that you had not had the opportunity to meet because you guys did things in the order that you did, who can speak common and was able to bring you back to Astrozalian. So you guys are back there, like outside the city.
Cool.
Yep.
Good times.
Yes, so
we are still in the Feywild, just to be clear. Right?
It's so confusing. No, you have been brought back to the material plane, and that is where Astrozalian is still currently.
Got it.
It's still technically a Fey kingdom, it's just not in the Fey wilds right now. It's so messy. So what would you like to do? Would you like to try to go right back to the castle, to the keep, or would you, or do you have other things you would like to do before?
What time of day is it?
It is. Oh, hold on. I gotta. Early morning.
And we presumably have been, we went there fought the tree and then traveled, we presumably have not rested.
Correct. Actually, by your own reckoning, it's been maybe 4 hours ish since you've left Astrazalian, maybe.
Oh, okay. So to us, it still kind of feels like us the same day. Am I understanding that?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
But the daylight is completely different when you arrive.
Yeah.
Did we have to go into... Yeah, we went into the Feywild to deal with the Blight Lord.
Yes.
Yes, okay. I am all for a rest if we want to take one. Or if we are happy to see the back of this entire place, I am just as good with that.
What
is
do you mean
everybody...
by the back of this entire place?
I'm happy to get the hell out of here. We
Oh.
have come and done what we said we were going to do. We have dealt with the Blight Lord. I feel like we...
Yeah, but we gotta get paid, right?
Oh, yeah, no, absolutely. No, we can do this shit for free. I need to have words with her.
Yeah, I'm worried I don't have enough money to pay for some things I ordered, and I would like to get paid before we do anything else.
Were they things you ordered here?
No.
Oh, then yeah, not a problem, because I can't imagine we are at all intending to go back to Saltmarsh before we're done here.
And this, okay, we are we in the place that dude had to specially transfer us to, or we are in a different place?
We are in the area where he had
I
to
don't remember the
transport us,
names of the cities.
because we are still in... Yeah, Astrazalian is where he had to take us.
Right.
Yes.
Astrazalian is where Krellick broke the sword.
Yeah, that's the
Astrazalian.
fancy...
Astrazalian is the point between two fabrics that has been stitched together, the Fey and the material.
Yeah, okay. Astrazalian is the resort. Yeah, okay. Is the vacation town, and we are where right now?
There.
There.
You are
okay,
there.
We are there. Okay.
Yes.
I would also point out again. It's pretty tough to get to this place. Do we want to actually, enjoy our time here? Get paid, whatnot, and then, maybe kick back.
We can certainly get paid. I don't know about enjoying time here, but
Don't think we have that kind of time. We still need to get back to Saltmarsh and deal with the stolen weapons.
Yeah, but weapons is already stolen. They're not gonna get more stolen.
No, but if we don't come back in time, they could get moved. And then we'd have to go find them again.
she's right.
Yeah, Warren. Just saying. Seems like this place is tough to get to.
No, you're not wrong. I don't disagree. It's just, if we want to finalize this contract and be done with this place before it leaves, we should probably get that done.
We could always split up and let Krellick go explore while we finish the contract.
I don't have to be there, right? I'm not. Zeshel is head negotiator, right?
Unfortunately, Krellick, I might need you there. There is a how shall I put this? The contract that we entered to with her at your, I don't want to use the word say so, but the agreement that we have is based on your statement, and so I kind of need you there because of a legal technicality. It shouldn't take us long. I mean, the way I look at it, she'll either agree with this or she'll try to kill us, in which case I really want you there.
Oh, I hope she does. It would be an honor to be killed by her.
Sure.
I'm not sure I'm comfortable where this conversation is going.
I have no intentions of dying, Yumi, if that puts your mind at ease at all.
A bit, yeah.
Well, it sounds to me like we can't really do much else until we get this contract business finished with, so perhaps we should get that taken care of, and then we can decide what to do next.
Yeah, that would be my preferred route.
Yeah.
Get that dealt with, and then enjoy this place, if such a thing is possible. I hate this place.
All right, let's go. I know the way, don't you worry.
I just start walking in a direction. I walk left.
I don't hate this place, Zasho, but I don't really have a need to stay here either.
Yeah, I suppose hate is a really strong word, and now that we're out of the Fae, it's considerably better.
But also, Vakaris was really worried about us running out of time, so I feel like, I mean, he's a little eccentric at time, but I don't know. Maybe he's onto something that we don't know about.
Could be. We'll never know.
Okay. Krellick, unless you're like actually just completely wandering blind, it's not hard to find Astrazalian. The spire is
Well, I'll start.
Sorry,
I walk
Pickup.
left. No, you're good. I walk left for a while, and then I look, look around, and be like, oh, that's the tower, obviously.
Yeah. It's impossible to not see the Starlit Spire. And eventually, 20 minutes or so walking, you can make it to the city wall, and it is open to you. And again, you can wander through, you can wander through the major streets. If you are at all in any regard lost, you are easily directed. However, it's really well structured like a grid, and also again the spire is very easy to see and easy to follow. And eventually you make it back to the castle. You are allowed past, you are allowed through, you are very recognizable, and as the hired swords, you are anticipated. And the throne room, again occupied by all sorts of fae that you've now can even a little bit recognize from your time now in the wilds, although you don't see any of those hooded fae that you saw before that were very stabby. Shendria sits nearly like she's almost laying on the throne, and laughing and talking with her courtiers. And when you enter, rolls and tumbles out of the chair, and as she falls, her hand extends for her sword, which falls at her will into her palm, and she comes to stand and tower over you and says, "Wow, you all made it back. I'm very, very impressed. And it seems you made it in decent time as well. What, 3 days? Excellent work."
Three what now?
Oh, 3 suns up and down, in the sky. 3 days.
Yeah, we're pretty good.
What?
Yay.
Wasn't it? It hasn't been 3 days, has it?
Oh, gee. bullshit time differences in that fucking place color me surprised. Anyway,
She
I'm
grins.
surprised.
She grins. I didn't really warn you because I didn't
You're an
think that it would
awful
make
person.
any difference.
that too.
She squats down to get to eye level with you, Zashel, and still grins and says, louder?
Here are some bits and pieces of the Blight Lord. And I'd reach in my bag and pull out some twigs and whatnot that we chopped off.
I tossed the face that we chopped off. I wrote in my notes, I chopped off its
You
face.
definitely did chop off its
and
face.
took branches. That's one
Yeah.
of the 4 notes.
One hand still on the sword, the other out to catch whatever's thrown at her, but she still maintains eye contact with Zashel.
Yeah, I toss it like at the ground, right? I mean,
Okay.
I do not throw it at her.
Okay.
Also right in the
Yeah.
face.
Look, I'm a jerk. I'm not an asshole.
You're probably also not suicidal.
You also did steal from a child.
Yeah, that kid had it coming.
What did the kid ever do?
He had what I wanted. This is, I just want to be clear, this is Krellick saying this. This is not me, the person.
No, we got that. That was clear.
She's still waiting on Zashel.
This contract is complete, yes. You are satisfied that we have done the things you wanted us to do.
She very slowly blinks.
Excellent, then we can discuss the terms. I know that you, Faye, are fond of your contracts. I admit I am impressed, honestly, by the faithfulness with which you stick to contracts and the magical binding thereof. There seems to be a discrepancy, however, in the formation of the contract that you seem to be thinking we operated under. Correct me if I'm wrong here on your contracting requirements. Those entering into a contract must be able to do so with full authority and willingness to enter into a contract. That is, I cannot force someone into a contract, you cannot force someone into a contract, and those who enter into said contracts must be able to, they must have the legal standing to do so. Am I correct so far?
Her grin widens.
Excellent. Krellick, what is your position within Acquisitions Incorporated, specifically within the Lighthouse franchise?
Well, I believe it's, I'm a rank 2 occultant.
And does an occultant have the authority, even within an Acquisitions Incorporated franchise, to make decisions which affect the entirety of the franchise? Or would you say that that is, in fact, the role of the decisionist?
Well, I mean, technically speaking, I do make decisions that affect the outcomes of everybody. So, yes.
That's not what I asked. Do you have the authority within a franchise, within our franchise specifically, to enter into contracts for all of us? You don't, do you? That is in fact a mixture of my job and Yumi's job. Yumi being the decisionist and I being the loremonger, whose entire purpose is to ratify and draw up contracts.
It sounds like a lot of paperwork you're talking about, so that's probably not me.
Exactly. You see, You were quick to attempt to create a magical contract with my compatriot Krellick here when he said that he would agree to your terms. However, that doesn't bind the rest of us. We have a magical contract of probably sufficient strength to override your own with Acquisitions Incorporated headquarters, which stipulates what each member can and cannot do within and to members of a franchise. And so, the rest of us would like to negotiate terms. Now,
I'll lean close to Zash and say, "What I did agree to do it."
For yourself, yes. Yeah,
Right.
I'm not even arguing that. You are 100% correct there. It's the rest of the terms for the rest of us that were never discussed. And so that is what I would like to discuss now. I don't think my request will be difficult to agree to. I don't think you will find it distasteful or anything like that. In fact, most of it is simply the stipulations to which we've already, to which Krellick here has already agreed. There are some additional terms that I would like to enter into if you would like the rest of the information which we have acquired from Stolen Branch, which I am aware that you still sort of desire for its usefulness to you. Mostly, my requirements only pertain to the report that you will be making, undoubtedly, to your superior. To, I believe she is your mother, Titania, however you pronounce that.
Her expression shifts ever slightly as you are, like the entire time you were talking. You can tell she is engaged and reading you as you are speaking. It's her aunt, by the way, but yeah.
Aunt, okay.
Yeah.
Zashel doesn't know, so.
Roll a persuasion check.
Good thing I have a bunch of inspiration, because this could go bad. It's not great, not bad, not great. Yeah, I'll burn an inspiration. Hold on. That leaves me with 5. Okay, that's worse. One more.
No. Oh no.
I'm spending another. I have 3 left after this one because
Can you just keep
There
spending?
we go. There you go.
Yes, you can, if you so choose, burn through all of your inspiration in a single move, because I think that's tremendously funny.
Yeah, it's super hilarious right now.
She pulls herself to her feet with the leverage from her sword, and she says, "The contract that we negotiated and finally settled on reads, quote, 'We'll do it. However, I am not like Titania. I am not like her consorts. I am not like most Fae. I intend on sending you back home with the reimbursement for the gold that I understand that you have poured into this venture already. You can recoup your losses. I also have offered you tokens and gifts that you were able to use to keep yourselves alive, and I don't intend on taking those back. What sort of reward do you think you now deserve in conjunction with these more than fair resources?'"
They are indeed more than fair. And as I said, I think you will find my request palatable. The report that you make, you will not mention us by name. You will refer to us as the Lighthouse Franchise of Acquisitions Incorporated, with one exception. Has Vicaris ever told us his last name, his surname?
No, he is not.
My companion, Vicaris, you will mention him by name. Whatever his surname is, I'm sure he can tell you. You will make it clear that it was he who discovered this plot. It was he who came to the realization that none of you were able to come to. It was Vicaris who was the instrument of the salvation of Astrazelian this time. You will make sure that that information is passed upon clearly to Titania. That is the only thing I ask.
She begins to pace around you in front of you, and the sword twirls in her hands, and she says, "Yes, Vicaris, who caught on, acknowledged, and confronted, assisted at least in the confrontation with Stolen Branch. Tell me, how were you received when you first arrived in Astrazalian? Do you recall?"
The first time we arrived? When we arrived with Stolen Branch and he guided us through the... and he will air quote here, guards of your armory, the ones who allowed us to walk in, potentially steal and in fact destroy some of your weaponry. I'm sure they were very cordial to Stolen Branch.
Yes. And do you recall also what happened when he tried to escape once he'd realized that he had been caught?
I do.
So how come you, by the assumption that I have not been aware of what he has been doing for some time, have not been waiting for some folks such as yourselves, so kind-hearted and truly generous and, honestly, very much appreciated and quite capable, how are you to assume that I have not been aware of what he has been doing and not been encouraging this pillaging for the explicit point to catch him as you have for me, punish him, make an example of him to the city, and also acquire, quite handily, as you would like to say, individuals who are very interested in assisting us and saving our city walls. I appreciate everything that you've done, truly. But I would discourage you from assuming in any stretch that I am not acutely aware of what is happening in my own home.
Krellick will lean to Yop and whisper in Aquin,
"Is this going well? Because it seems like it's not going well."
It's going just fine.
Okay.
Give me another persuasion check, Ted.
God fucking damn it.
the
I will
ones.
burn another inspiration.
At least it's consistent.
I mean, I've rolled 60-20 and 3 of them are ones. Like,
Yeah. Ooh.
I've rolled a grand total in 6 rolls of 3 separate numbers.
You
Yeah.
have
Their RNG is such dog shit. It's amazing.
Well, you have the luck
This
that I
is-
had the one session, but it's just the bad version of it.
See, this is just what you get for rolling so hot on Monday, Ted. Is this apparently?
I actually looked back through that. Those were not exactly high rolls. It's just that my
No.
bonus has gotten so amazing.
Yeah. Anyway, she says, however, I don't see why I could do this. I don't see why I could not. I could not mention by name this individual, Vicaris. His investment, at least, in the security of the kingdom is substantial. And I am sure I myself am delighted at his enthusiasm. I think my dear auntie might also find this interesting. Now, I believe at this point we are discussing new terms. So
It
what
sounds
is it?
like you have simply agreed to mine already.
No, I've only commented that I find them agreeable. Not that I have agreed.
Fair point.
Is this all that you ask?
Yes, I told you.
Well,
One moment.
Do you think it's wise that we also negotiate safe passage back home?
I sort of understood that was already a given.
Oh, I don't think I'd understand anything's a given here. The only person we knew that could get us back home was Stolen Branch.
I mean, can
Our
we just take
Loremonger
a...
raises a very valid point on how we will return to Fort Burl.
Understandable. I have little need to keep you all here. I benefit very little from doing so. You will all be returned safely, instantaneously, in your entirety. And again, I will speak with Kethlis. She will ensure that anything that you have lost, you will be returned. However, I have discussed this with Kethlis already. Stolen Branch will not be returning to the Silver Stand. He will be remaining here. And
Naturally.
yes. And the Silver Stand will be, for some time, refused teleportation entry back to Astrozalian. If they wish to return, they must come by boat, as everyone else must, and they are only allowed during the summer and spring seasons. You wish to be returned home? You wish
Wait, how
Vicaris be mentioned by name? And
are we
you...
gonna get home if the one who brings us home is in jail?
Stolen Branch is not the only one who had access on this side of the teleportation circle. He was
Teleportation
just...
is one directional.
correct.
I understand.
You wish Vicaris to be mentioned by name, you wish to be returned home safely, and you wish to have your debts repaid. And what is it you propose that you could offer to me for my generosity?
Service is rendered to begin with. Blight Lord is dead. The Dryads are still alive. In fact, oh god, what's the word that Ted am looking for? I just had a complete and utter blank.
What are you thinking of?
I am trying to describe the fact that there were very few casualties other than the Blight Lord, and I cannot think of the word that I am looking for.
Collateral damage?
Collateral is close enough.
That's fine. Yeah, you can express that idea for sure.
As I understand it, this is the terms of the original contract.
Yes. Like I said,
You wish to make addendum?
that was my addendum. The agreement that I put forward before that you have enumerated several times now. That was the only small and minor change that I wished to make to the contract that you had drawn up with my companion Krellick, and then simply apply that said contract to the rest of us through proper channels.
Make another persuasion check.
Here's a 1 incoming. Oh, okay, there we go. Whew.
I understand how you understand this contract to exist. However, I need something from you still, be it minor, a small token, a light offering, a word, something. I still require from you something. I'm willing to make this agreement, and I'm willing to be generous in this. But surely there is something that you are willing to sacrifice for this?
I will walk over to Betty and open up Betty's mouth. Unless anyone else has something else they would like to put forward, I will pull out that I like to imagine Krellick just walks over to a serving person, takes their whole tray.
Oh yeah, if someone is like has a tray, I do take the tray of food or snacks. But
Yeah,
if there's
you
like
can
some
do
like
that.
if there's like some just like out on like a table or a little thing,
You can start noshing. It's
Yeah.
fine.
yeah, it seems very amenable and casual. So yeah,
It
you
is.
yeah.
Anyway, Ted, what do you pull out?
I will reach into Betty's mouth and pull out the gold and ruby tiara that I had made.
She beams.
Agreed.
This was intended for someone else, but it will serve purpose here. Unless there is anything anyone else would like to put forward. If this is acceptable to you, then I will draw up a contract. We need it on our side for records, you understand.
She nods.
I don't really have anything shiny like that to
It's
offer.
alright. It's all right.
I
You
wish
needn't
Vakaris
offer
was
it.
here.
You needn't offer material. You understand.
What else could we offer?
She rocks on her feet, looks upwards as she's kind of thinking. She says,
A powerful thought, a memory, a plan, intention, something that you find valuable. Doesn't have to be tangible.
I think this will do nicely for us.
I agree, because its intangible value to you is more than sufficient.
Joke's on her. It has no intangible value to Zashel, because he can't feel those things.
Yeah.
I
But
don't
the
actually.
intention.
He doesn't say that.
Well, of course. Right, but the intention is still
And,
the
and Zash will
potential.
finger guns his way out of there.
Yeah. The potential that had is still a value. Like that is still a valuable item. But she agrees to these terms. You can print out a contract.
And I can from my whatever it's called, Documancer case.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine there's like a fax machine noise as we wait. Zashel stands there, put like finger up for 1 minute. Like, hold on, just 1 minute. Dot matrix noises.
Yeah, dot matrix for sure.
Tear that thing off. Pull off the little side pieces. All right, and decisionist, if you will sign here.
Yumi will sign.
Zashel will sign as witness and then hand it over to Shandru.
You've got
She
an old
will.
Apple image writer in that thing.
She will run her thumb along the blade of her sword, and then just press her thumbprint on the line.
You don't get my name.
And she smiles.
I mean, your mark would have sufficed, but blood oath is, if that's your guys' thing, then
This is easier. For you, paper is clean, traceable, valuable. It's a trap for us.
to be fair, it's largely a trap for us as well. And he will roll up the scroll or the contract, and he will tuck it into a scroll case and then put it into the Documancer case.
She grins.
All right, you have what, 4-ish more days before autumn?
She looks at one of the attendants who nods.
Just give the word whenever you're ready to return home. You'll be on your way.
Thank you. And thank you for your hospitality.
She
We will
nods.
let you know when we are ready.
Right, folks?
Zashel will wait for everyone else to walk out ahead of him. He has a question that he just wants to do like as a parting question.
Okay.
That's very interesting. You see Krellick stays sitting, eating, waiting for everyone else to leave the room.
Does everyone else leave the room, or do more people have questions?
No, Yumi's ready to leave, but
Yeah, Yop wants out of here.
I don't know. Seeing Krellick still sitting there might be. Yeah. She'll pause at the door, confused why other people aren't leaving.
If I... Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, you make. It seems like you would make eyes with, like, Zashel and Krellick. Krellick will looking and say, "Oh, you can go ahead, Yumi. I just got something I wanted to ask the lady."
Yumi will
will-
just wait outside the door, out of sound range, I guess, to give them privacy. But just in case they, cause a commotion, she'll be outside.
Just
All
in
right.
case we go to war with the Fae. Zashel kind of does the two-handed go-ahead motion to Krellick.
He sets down. He pops another, like, I guess there's like fruit or something around here.
Yeah.
In my mind, it's like grapes and like
Yeah,
other
of course.
yeah.
Grapes,
So-
bread, and cheese.
Yeah.
Charcuterie.
He tosses like half a grapevine in his mouth and says between chews,
Oh, mine might take a while, so if you got something to ask, you probably should.
do, I'm curious. I've no doubt you have complete understanding of what goes on in your domain. That's fairly famous among the Fae folk, like a famous trait among the Fae folk. So, why wait for us? Your guards clearly had the power to incapacitate and capture Stolen Branch. Surely you have mages powerful enough to make the same trip that he was making, so why wait for us, as you have pointed out?
She's picking off pieces of bread and slowly chewing them as you speak, and then she just says around a little mouthful,
Because I find those who are so taken by the idea of heroism, performative or otherwise, charming. And this way, I do not risk the lives of my people. You are all more than capable. You all handled it well. You all came back alive and healthy and hardly scathed, considering. These errands are also proof that we have allies. It is moralizing to my armies to know that they are not fighting just for survival. That there is something out there that finds value in their home and in their lives and their continued existence. And so, small favors from heroes, convoluted or otherwise, is helpful, truly. Plus, it's fun.
Zashel breaks out into what is probably the creepiest laugh that has ever echoed in this place. Then you really do, in fact, owe everything to Vicaris, because he is the only one that cared. And then he'll just turn and leave.
her then go to Krellick, and she just waits for you to say something.
This place that we're in, Astrazalian,
Yes.
Astrazalian. What's the normal population like? It's elven, yeah.
It's mostly it's more Fae, but there is a lot of Eladrin.
Okay, more Fae. Okay. And can you describe this is Lady Chandrea, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, can you describe her again for me?
Yeah, she's about 8 feet tall. She has elven appearing features, very long, wicked ears, and blonde hair, scarred skin. Like, you've seen Vicaris, and he's tattooed in a very specific way. She is similarly marked, but with scar tattooing, and also clearly battle scars. Like, she's got a very busted up nose kind of thing. She has mismatched armor. She's clearly built, like she's broad shoulders, she looks like a warrior. She does not look like, in any regard, like a princess.
Yeah. Okay. I'll just set aside what I was eating on, pick out a bone of some kind of meat thing I was eating, set that down, get up, wipe my hands, crack my neck, and roll my arms a bit. And I'll walk up, to when I'm like a couple feet from her. Is she like up on a dais thing, or is she at our level? She's just very tall.
At this point, she's returned to her throne, which is on a dais.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll approach her and say,
Look, it's a very nice place you have here. I had a think, and I thought that if I was gonna play around in this thing, I might want to get in a scrap or two. And I started seeing and thinking about everyone else out there in the city, and well, I'd probably just beat them. I thought maybe you and I could have a go.
Her face splits into a grin, and she says, "Sure."
Friendly and all that, right? I ain't trying to make you bleed.
I won't kill you. I'll say that now.
Oh, all right. Well, I promise not to chop something off.
I'd very much like to see you try.
And she stands. The sword moves to her hand. Give me 1 second to get you a map. I didn't think I would have to use her character sheet.
I didn't think I'd have an actual fight with her. I thought it'd be a narrative thing.
No, man, this is too good.
You about to get your ass beat.
I might. I mean, I probably will, but that's an equally good outcome.
Give me 1 second to find her. She's still technically a medium creature, so you've got that going for you.
Oh, cool.
She's just Goliath-sized.
Yes.
She's strong.
Yeah. Ooh. Where are you? There you go. All right, Sean, roll initiative.
You got it. It's a nat 20, 22 on initiative.
That is very good. Very good for you. Oh. Okay. So you're up first. Let me just. There you go.
Okay, cool. I look at I pull out my maul, and then pull out the great axe in one hand, and I'm looking at which one, and I look at her, and I drop both of them, and get down low, and then just rush up the dais. I'm looking to tackle her. I'd like to try to tackle her into her throne.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead. Make a grapple/shove attack.
Okay. So I think it's just athletics, right? For me, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I would like to rage as I do this. Oh boy. Whew. Actually, we haven't rested, right?
Nope.
I have no rage. So I just rush her. It's a 26.
Right? She did roll a 31. So she
Pretty
puts her
good.
hand out, and you feel yourself, just by her palm, stopped.
Hell yeah. I still have the momentum of my weight, so I carry it down, put my foot behind hers, and then might use my second attack to hand on her face to throw it to the ground.
Okay.
So that's the same thing. It's a 15.
All right. She cannot lose to that.
Yumi, did that sound like Krellick is running?
It's all right. It's all right.
Does it?
It's all right. It's all right. Everything's gonna be fine. She
What
promised
do you
not to
mean
kill him.
everything's... Wait, what? Is he trying to fight her?
She
And
agreed
Yumi will
to it.
facepalm. Oh my god, why? Why does he do these kind of things?
You know what? Warrior respect is what she has. I'm not a warrior, so
Yumi is just gonna slide down against the wall and just flop herself on the ground.
The sword falls from her hand in a mist, and she goes to grab your arms and then throw you to the ground.
Yeah. It's a 20. She throws me to the ground.
Yep. She lands on top of you and holds you down with her forearms, and then moves to stand over you. And she says, "Do you want to keep going?"
I smile and like make a move to try to like kick her.
Okay. You can try.
Oh, was that that was the end of her turn?
She's foregoing the rest of her turn.
Okay. I was doing that flavor wise. I expected her to like punch me in the face or something.
Well, she can do that.
Yeah. Okay. So if all right. So I'm on the ground. She's got me. I will roll to the side and shove myself up. I'd like to try to get my arms around her and then suplex her to the ground.
Okay. You are technically grappled, so you have to escape the grapple first.
Okay. Then I would then use my it's just 5 foot of my movement to stand up. Then to like grab a hold of her and like pull myself up, and then we're contesting, trying to get our arms around each other, and then that's when I make the move to try to get her.
Okay.
It's 18.
Okay. Wow. You can. Yeah. You manage to do that.
Hell yeah. Slam her down and then roll on top of her so my weight is just on her, and then I'm gonna punch her in her face.
Excellent. Roll to hit.
Alright, it's claws. Oh no, it's a 10.
Yeah, that misses miserably. And
yeah.
your fist smashes into the stone beneath her, and she dissolves underneath you, and and then you fall to the ground, and then feel a crushing weight on top of you. And then she attacks you.
Yeah.
Let's see. I guess it would just be technically an athletics check because it's proficiency in the unarmed. Strength. Okay, a 20 to hit.
Oh yeah, hits for sure.
Okay, so that's going to be a total of 9 damage.
Okay.
And she'll strike again for 24 for another 9.
Okay. Okay. I would be in the prone condition then, since I was on down on her.
Yes.
It only takes me 5 foot of movement. Thank you, athletics. I will quickly stand up and try to scoop her legs out from under her, like grab an ankle and just yank. It's an 11. Shit.
She can't lose that one.
She's huge.
She's really big.
Yeah. I'll like pull her ankle, and like she doesn't, like her foot just moves 1 foot forward.
Right.
I'll stand up, and I'm gonna try to grab. Does she have any hair or anything?
Yes, she has. Yeah, her hair is down.
Cool. I'll like grab a hold of her hair and then go to like smash my head into hers.
Cool.
I don't know what attack that is.
That'll be an
claws?
unarmed attack. Yeah.
Okay.
You can use your claws.
15 to hit.
That does not hit.
She just takes it.
Yep.
Okay, that's it.
And then returns the favor. 31 to hit for another 9 points of concussive damage as she smashes her head into yours.
Yeah, hell yeah.
That goes past bludgeoning and into force damage.
She's still got that wild, like, manic grin. Your turn.
Okay, cool. God, I gotta get her just once. Just once. Okay. I'll like my grip loosens and I stumble a few feet back and like shake my head. And I'll just raise my head and just bellow out, and I'm gonna come at her once across the right and then once across the left of her face. 22 to hit.
That misses.
Jesus, what have I done? 15 doesn't do it.
Now you know for the future, should we ever choose to fight her.
I mean,
I just
now we
assume
know she's
she
the
takes
best
on
ally.
giants on a yearly basis.
Yeah.
I sort of imagine everything that has happened thus far can be summed up as she's got her palm on your forehead and you're just wildly swinging, but your arms are like 2 inches
Yeah.
too short.
Yeah, for sure.
She goes again to grab your arm and then twist it back. This will be an unarmed attack still. For 30, for another 9 as you hear a little crack as your arm is pulled back, and around your shell in a way it's not supposed to go. And then while she's back there, her leg flies out and kicks you in the back of the head. For a 26.
Okay, yeah.
Another 9.
Another 9, okay.
And then it's your turn. Your arm is released.
Okay, all right. I'll turn to look at her, look at my bent arm, grab a hold of it, and just like rack it back into place. Test, like give a flex and test it. Grimace. Well, it's hard to grimace with a beak, but I somehow do it. I will look to her, spit a bit of blood out, and then just like hold a hand out to her.
Hold on. She goes to slap your palm, but she does not take it. Like it like a kind of like a high five. She is not letting you grab her though.
Okay. My position relaxes, and I say to her,
Well, that was a fight I was never gonna win, was it?
Oh, no. No way in hell.
Give it time. We'll come back here, yeah? Have a
I look forward
rematch.
to it. I would look forward to that.
he'll like just look her over a little bit and shake his head, go and like gather his weapons, put them on his back, and as he walks out, he's just muttering to himself,
Didn't even land a single fucking hit.
All right.
Still, respect the attempt.
Yeah.
"Yeah, I thought the 22
Says that.
was my moment. I thought that was my moment."
I don't understand. If you couldn't even hit her, shouldn't she have just been able to take care of the Blight Lord quite easily?
Maybe.
Yes. is
Maybe
the
she just
answer.
had other shit to do.
It was show. We were there for show, essentially.
As you guys are leaving the castle, you see that there are other people here who are clearly like material natives, coming either to or from the castle in various states of either excitement or distress. Those who are distressed look a little battered, worn. Some people appear to be carrying corpses. And the others who look excited look less so when they see those people. What would you like to do while you're in Astor's Island, or are you just ready to head out?
Wait, can I go and ask them why they're carrying corpses out?
Oh yeah, sure, you can.
I'll approach one of them and say, not to be rude, but what exactly happened here? And Yumi will point to the dead body.
One of runs a hand over their face and just says, it's just coming back from the Fae is all.
Are these people Fae or are they human?
They're material
human.
natives.
No,
That's
yeah,
what I
not. So nothing to do with the city specifically, just like from the Fae?
The reward offered by the princess is worth the sacrifice.
What were you trying to hunt or stop?
There were giant colonies that needed infiltration, and well, someone got caught in an errant blast of an explosion. It happens. I mean, we're here now. Perhaps we can bring him back. And he looks at his fallen companion.
Oh, okay. And then Yumi will just walk away.
We hope your gods smile upon you.
He nods. Right, folks, what do you want to do? Ready to head home?
I don't know. I think Kralik wanted to look around.
I did literally the thing that I wanted to do.
Oh, I
figured
thought
that-
you wanted to go shopping or something.
No, I need all the money I can possibly get. I have items I need to pay for. I was gonna like try to get into a little bit of a tussle here, but honestly, I was thinking
You're
like,
way too beat up now.
well, no, I mean like that was the fight. That was the thing. Like, because that would have been the challenge, the real challenge, you know. So I did everything I need to do here.
Sure, I'm ready to get out of here.
Ditto.
I don't think I like this place very much.
I don't like this place at all, and I don't like her very much.
I need to
Like a
go
lot.
train.
It's just caught in a bad position.
I suggest we not say that when we're still here, yeah.
Oh, that's a good point. I like her very much. Let's get out of here.
Agreed on that point. I actually do like her a lot. She seems to be a very cognizant ruler.
Okay. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say she's very impressive.
Yumi's not gonna say anything until after we're out of here.
Okay. You guys can meet back up with Kethlis and your escort, who will be taking you back to the Silver Stand. And you are back. You are actually in Stolen Branch's house with that teleportation circle that is mostly faded, if not completely gone now because of how the spell works. And Kethlis just stares down at it and looks a little pale, sick, and just says, I will have someone with you in a moment, and we will find that money that he swindled from you. And she leaves to go find some attendants.
I'm going to use whatever faded remnants of the circle are there, along with whatever memory I have of the circle previously, to try and sketch furiously in my book.
Okay. It's been a couple of hours for you,
Mm-hmm.
but you have this with you, and you rolled a nat 20 last time.
Mm-hmm.
I will say you can do that.
Excellent.
Okay. A little while passes. Yop finishes her drawing. Kethlis returns with some folks who more or less begin tearing the place apart and return to you guys the, what did it come out to be? Like 6,000 something, right?
No, because up front we paid half, which I think was
Oh, yep.
2750 or 2775 or something like that.
Right. It's
Yes.
2750, and then another 1,000 for 2 additional trips.
Yep, that's it. There you go.
Are we left alone at any point? Like when he walked away, are we like alone in
Yes.
this dude's house? Can I just
Yeah.
take something?
Sure.
I mean, I don't know what's there, but
Right. Yeah, no, I'm putting it together in my head so I can find you something. Hold on. There are books, naturally. There are some instruments and some small trinkets.
some small
Better.
trinket.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. You find a... Yeah, we'll do this. It looks like an ear cuff. It's shiny. It's got some... It's got like 2 swirling pieces of wire. At the top, one of those swirls is centered with a white opalescent type gem, and at the bottom, to mirror it, is a darker colored, like a black stone of the same type.
Hell yeah. I put it on my hooks near my jeweled belt.
Yeah, because you don't have ears. Okay. Okay. Anything else you guys do here while you need alone time, or are you guys ready to be escorted out?
I think we're good.
Anything.
Okay. Kethlis thanks you all. She's grateful for your help. She looks tired, and a little despondent, but she's very grateful for what you've done. Even...
You're okay?
Yes, it will just be challenging to return home now. We'll be fine. We live a very long time, and if there is one thing we understand and have learned from infancy, it is patience.
So the implication that we were given that... You know what, never mind.
What was said was they are allowed to return to Astrazalian, but they have to come by the ordinary means of everyone else, which is by...
Oh, no. That's not what I was...
Mm.
The implication that the princess gave was that they had another way to do this, which... That's it, nothing. That's
Okay.
That's all.
All right. So you guys ready to go back to Burl?
Yeah, I think so, right?
Yeah.
All right. You have an escort that takes you down the elevator down to the ground level of the forest, and you walk through the deep and dense trees. You see again, it's morning, so the light is pale and watery, but the glow from the silver stand is still very apparent. And a little trek through the woods, and you are back at Fort Burl. You guys want to take a rest here and head home, or what do you want to do?
I think we should definitely take a rest if we can. I think we should also check in with Kiara.
I agree. We've done a lot of traveling.
It'll also be good to get a better sense of exactly what has happened while we were gone. The time difference will be jarring for a little while.
I mean, it's only been a few hours, right?
No, not right. That is what Chandria was saying. The time flows differently in the Feywild, so while we were only there for a few hours for us, in reality, days have passed here.
That's crazy.
Yes, well, welcome to the Feywild.
Are we sleeping outside again, or are we gonna get a room?
Again, I slept in a room last time. That's up to you all.
Well, I, for one, am going to try and find a room this evening.
Yeah, I could do with a good wash.
I'm right there with you, dudes.
Yeah, room is fine. I don't see a problem with that.
Yumi, I did not like Lady Chandria.
No, I did not. I did not like how she used people for her amusement.
Yeah, she was not very nice at all. Although, she didn't kill Krellick, that's something.
That is. I mean, she probably thought it was funny to watch him fail like that.
Oh, but you put up a valiant effort, Krellick.
I did. It wasn't good enough, but it will be. I don't think she took funny to her winning. She was better. And that's what it was. I think she liked that I tried. So when we get back to Saltmarsh, we're gonna look for the weapons.
Is there a reason to?
Well, I mean, Prime Water is still doing some questionable, illegal things.
Yes.
I think it's best if we try and find out what he's stolen the weapons for.
Yeah, we should go find him and ask him.
I mean, if he just purchased the weapons because he thought he was buying, stellar weapons to help defend Saltmarsh, I don't see much problem. But if he was in on the fact that they were in fact stolen, and even worse, if part of his plan was to help speed the demise of AstraZeneca, then I think we've got larger problems to deal with.
That is true. Vakars did say a lot of people in Saltmarsh were racist against him. Maybe they wanted to destroy the elves.
I mean, he's definitely dirty. Well, you don't deal with a man like Branch, and you know what you're getting into.
Perhaps, but best not to make any assumptions just yet.
Dasani, do you have any thoughts?
On Vicaris? No.
All right, folks. What do you want to do?
Yappa's gonna go try and find a room.
Easily done. The Forest Edge Inn is just over. Actually, no, sorry. It's this building over here by the edge of the forest. Ha.
And once in said room, she will pull out the whisper jar and ask it for a report on Kiara Shadowbreaker.
Okay. Hold on, I gotta pull up my notes for her. Come on, Ellie, where are you? There you are. Okay. The Shadowbreaker, Kiara Vinro, was born Kiara Ursa in Saltmarsh and is currently 53 years old, if I remember correctly. Employed with the company for 4 years, and before her franchise was destroyed by an act of God, literally. She was known for a short period on the high seas as a sailor, destroying privateer vessels and with a particular thorn in her side against the Sea Princes. When she retired from Acquisitions Incorporated, she enlisted with Keolan's army and was stationed in Burrell. And that's about. Well, I'm trying to think. Is there anything specific you're looking for?
Nope.
Okay. She is a. What was her? Hold on. Just a couple of. Let me make sure I got them all. Trained as a soldier. She worked as the decisionist. And that's pretty much it that I can think of. Notable some of her notable achievements in the company, which she would get because it's the Whisper Jar. Would be the raid on the Tower of Xenopus, the rescuing a bullfrog from a Nothic, saving a girl Colette Oland from a green hag in the what's it called? In the Fey forests that you got near you. The Dreadwood. And then being she was not necessarily heading this, but she was present for the banishment of several rising undead at the cemetery at Saltmarsh.
Cool beans.
Yep.
And I will share that with the party over breakfast, I presume.
Still early morning.
Well, then, whenever the long rest is done, but Yop's going to sleep.
Okay. All right, let's. If that's the case, you guys can take your long rest and then be active, like in the evening. Unless you want to keep up during the day, because you guys still have had. Like, you guys have only been up for about 8 hours of the day. You still have daylight that you could use if you'd like.
Yes. I actually need to go talk to Kira, so.
Okay. You can go. Yeah, you can go to the keep and find her. Ask around for her. Yeah.
Unless anyone else has something they want to do first.
No, Krellick, if we have, like, you know, where it feels like I shouldn't sleep yet, then
Yeah.
he will just like kind of walk around the town a bit, thinking about that fight, and that's like he'll spend the day like just kind of wandering around, and he'll find like a I don't know if are these trees still weird? Are these trees in the center of town going to teleport you away or do weird fey stuff?
Yeah.
Why can't they just be regular trees? Are there regular trees?
Yes, there are regular trees around. These are just the important trees.
Yeah, cool. He'll go hang out by, like, you know, like a more like kind of natured spot, and he'll every like after a time like call like a little like squirrel or something over and just kind of like scratch its head with his claw a little bit, but he'll spend his time doing that kind of shit until we're all, you know, ready to go.
Sure. Yeah, no problem. Sorry, my mic. Okay. Anyone else want to do anything before we go to Kiara? Monkey, anything from you?
Nope.
All right. Yop sounded like she was going to sleep.
Yep.
Okay. And Dasani, what do you want to do?
I'm just gonna stay back and chill out.
All right. Cool. Okay. Yeah. Zashel, you can find Kiara around, working in the keep, talking with soldiers. And she gives you, you know, a hand to wait a moment, and then when she's excused herself, she comes over to you and says, anything I can help you with?
I need something has occurred to me. I need a favor, and you have every right to say no, and I will understand if you do. It occurs to me that the contact that I was hoping to establish with the elves of the Silverstand may be difficult. The person who would be contacting them mostly contacts people via dream, which requires that they sleep, which of course that they don't. I was hoping you would agree to serve as intermediary. You do sleep, right?
She laughs and nods. I do. It's one of the flaws of being half human.
Excellent. If you would agree to that, you would be contacted at night, at some point while you sleep, and with any luck, a lasting peace between not just an armistice, but an actual peace, and hopefully one day maybe even an alliance can be reached between the peoples of Saltmarsh and the elves of the Silverstand. There is already there is a fledgling alliance agreement between Saltmarsh and the lizard folk of whatever that swamp was that Zashel would remember the name of, that Ted does not.
She looks a little forlorn and she says, aye, that would be nice. If that were the case, then there'd probably be a disarmament of the city, and
And Kyoland, in general, that'd be great. Well, suppose in any way that an alliance could actually, proper alliance anyway, do real good against the Dreadwood. But sure, I'll stand as conduit for you.
I doubt even this alliance will diminish the need for this fort, and unfortunately the soldiers within it. There are plenty of other things that are threats to not just Keolan, but to the elves and to, well, frankly, any intelligent creature.
Yeah. It's concerning. Anyway, I don't think that there's. I think you're right. I don't think there's call for. This place will stand for a long time. A lot of the things that are the dangers of the Dreadwood, they live a very long time unless someone is brave enough to go in after them and end them by their own hands. And that's dangerous and difficult considering all the different creatures that are inside. But I am here for an alliance between my home and my people.
Excellent.
Is that all?
We will probably be returning to Saltmarsh in the morning, or tomorrow, since I suppose it is still morning for us, or for here. Time in the Fae was strange.
She leans herself against her desk and folds her arms.
How was it?
I'm happy to be back. Astrosalion is a beautiful city. Shendria is a decent enough ruler, but no intents offended the pomp of that court is unbearable.
She grins and she says,
You went to Astrosalion and found them unbearable. Then you should certainly not be ever returning to the Feywilds. It's worse in every other court.
I have no intention of ever going there. But, things happen, so I won't say never.
If you do, bring me back something. I don't know. I'm probably never going to be able to make it there myself, so. Oh, speaking of, and she goes around her desk and pulls out a sealed envelope and says, Anders might be wanting this. And she hands it to you.
Oh, you want me to deliver? Got it. I can do that.
She smiles.
And Zasha will tuck it into his documents or case. That
Do you need any...
keep it safe for a while.
Are you needing any provisions or anything for your return journey? Do you have a cart, wagon, escort?
I don't believe we have any of the... Did we bring a cart here? I think we did, didn't we?
You did.
So, yes. So we have cart, we have wagon. I believe we should be fine on an escort. The trip isn't too bad. We'll probably come by on official Saltmarsh business before we leave, but this is outside the purview of Acquisitions Incorporated business, so.
Right. Outside the business, is this some... I hate to say the word cult, but is this I'm just curious. This is private business, I understand. But why is it private?
I simply keep my personal matters separate from my work matters. That's all.
Smart. That was certainly a failing of the last franchise established in Saltmarsh, so...
Speaking of, what can you tell me about Reed Sanballet? Well, you know what? Perhaps I should wait. That discussion should wait until the others are here.
I understand. I'll be thinking about what I could tell you, and I'll tell you when all the rest of you get here. Anything else you need from me?
Nope.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. I will deliver this, and thank you for agreeing to serve as go-between. Their lack of sleep makes things difficult, and unfortunately, I had other concerns during my latest.
I understand.
See you soon.
Okay. So those who are taking a long rest, take your long rest. What time are you all going to be meeting back up together?
I guess the next morning, right?
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was
sure.
gonna say, are we just kind of putzing around until nighttime, go to sleep, and then get up?
Kind of seems like it.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, that gives me plenty of time for scribing.
Yes, it does. You trying to say something, Andrew?
Oh, no. Nope.
Okay. We'll take our 10 and be back at 5 till. And we'll have that morning conversation, and then you guys can talk to Kiara, and you guys can head back home. So it is the morning after the morning of your return. And you guys have all spent a night at the Forest Edge Inn. Who is it that can is the person who can acquire you guys free rooms here?
That's visionist, because I don't know what ability that is.
I think what it was I think last time, Ted, you made the argument that this was a business expenditure, and it could be written off, and you'd be reimbursed and everything, which is, in a way, a use of your legalese feature.
Okay.
So, there you go. Okay, so yeah, what do you guys do in the morning? Got some information you want to share?
Yeah, I will share everything I learned about Kiara Shadowbreaker with everybody.
That matches up with what I found in the books in the lighthouse.
Wait, I'm sorry. What did you say her name was?
Kiara Shadowbreaker.
No. Her name before that.
She
Oh,
was
Ursa.
born Kira Ursa.
As in the
Does that name mean something to you?
Is she in any way related to the Major?
Almost certainly, yes. I believe this is her. He is her father. I think that's how. Yes.
Is that all you guys want to talk about?
Krellick is freshly scrubbed and bathed. Clean, his color's bright and dark, I guess, at the same time. Just kind of nods and says,
All right, so what are we doing? Are we going after Prime Water, or do we have business here?
I don't have any other business here. Unless you guys do?
Not me.
I've taken care of everything I had. Did Kiara? I did ask Kiara to gather what she knew about San Ballet. So if we would like to go by there this morning, I think that's a worthwhile conversation.
Lovely. Let's go by there.
Yep.
You guys head back to the keep and meet up with Kiara again. And says,
All right, you had some questions about Reed, right?
Reed Lowe, by the way, everyone, was another member of Kiara's franchise. I discussed this with Vicaris, but obviously he's not here right now, so in case you're wondering why I knew this. Go ahead,
Right.
Kiara.
All right. So what I know about him, well, apart from having lived with him for a little while and know that he was pedantic about his sock folding and other weird things like that. He's well, he's really good with small tools, crafting. Well, not crafting. He could get into places he weren't supposed to, and I think that may have been part of the reason he was what's the word? Recruited by a cat. Well, she stops speaking and then goes to her desk and pulls out a piece of paper and writes out the name. Make sure I spell that right. Yep. Okay. The wizard in Saltmarsh from Ket. Don't know if you met him. You don't really say his name. He's called the Unspoken, which is, thinking about it, kind of pretty good turn of phrase. He doesn't talk much, and well, there's a rumor if you say his name out loud, his eyes and ears appear, and you can spy on you. Don't know how
What-
true it is, but it's better to just keep it on the down low, just in case.
What's his name?
She looks at you and taps the paper.
The wizard is not our primary concern at the moment.
Right. Well, anyway, what I'm saying is, Reed learned how to study under the Unspoken. It's where he learned his magic tricks, What sort of questions are you what sort of questions do you have for me about him?
You said he was recruited. Wait, I thought Abernathy was the one who ran your franchise. Telling me it was this wizard?
No, you have it right. When he was recruited to Acquisitions Incorporated, it was under Abernathy. He learned his magical studies, the arcane arts, or whatever you want to call it, under the Unspoken. It wasn't until after he had gotten a little bit better at those tricks, those illusions, and other things he's capable of, that he was even considered for the position of a Hordes person, right? One moment. Yes, Hordes person.
Wait, and so you just say his name and like his eyes appear.
Well, I say I can spy on you if you say his name.
How many times you gotta say it?
I'd rather you didn't, just in case it might be true.
Oh, it's not real. It's like a rumor.
I don't know how true it is, and I'd rather not be finding out in this particular instance while we're talking about him and talking about Reed.
Alright.
Anyway, what do you want to know about Reed, anyway?
What we were unfortunate enough to have him, I don't want to say attack the lighthouse, but that's exactly what it was, including Abernathy. How far, I suppose, will he go for revenge and things like that?
He can hold a grudge, but he's not stupid. He would bide his time. It depends. How did you handle it when it all happened?
I mean, we put him in jail.
Yeah.
So he's had time to think. I need to be wary. He's been friendly with the Prime Water family for a while, anyway. And I think his alliance and his mentorship under the Unspoken might have only strengthened that. If he's in prison, and if Gellin has any say in his sentencing, you might be seeing Reed sooner than you think. And he might be more prepared than you'd expect.
That's unfortunate news. Was he involved in Gellin's smuggling operation? Off book, of course.
Most certainly. They won't talk about it, but most people in Saltmarsh know how the Prime Waters make their money. But the town benefits actually mostly from whatever Gellin does, so it's kept quiet. Unfortunately, also, if you're intending on going after Gellin, there's a lot of ties and a lot of threads. Lots of people like Gellin and the Prime Waters and aren't keen on changing their way of life just because it's the legal preference. You understand?
Unfortunately. Anyone else?
It's all very interesting.
Yeah, but look, how many times?
I think it's supposed to be the once. Hence me not saying it yet. Look, if you want to say it later, that's fine. Just be sure you're not doing anything important you don't want anyone spying on you for.
Krellick nods his head.
And don't do it in here.
What? Why not?
This is technically a fortified and special location. This base is private. If he were to just be able to look wherever he wanted in here, I don't know how it works. I don't understand the magic part of it at all. But there's things he's not supposed to be able to see in here. No one's supposed to be able to see in here.
Yeah. How do you even know about all this?
And I grew up in Saltmarsh. It's my home.
She was part of the last franchise, Krellick. We've been over that a couple times.
All right.
Any other questions?
Nothing from me for now. That does sort of confirm some of my
Just to
worst
confirm
thoughts.
that there are people who know about Gellin and the Prime Waters and chooses to ignore it.
She nods.
I don't like this.
No,
Well-
it's not very good at all.
Yeah, I mean, crime pays. It pays a lot of people, so yeah.
Most of the traditionalists in the city are all pro Gellin and his enterprise. Good part of them are probably under his pay. Most people in Saltmarsh wouldn't have a job if it weren't for fishing and for smuggling. That's just the reality of it.
Yeah, but maybe you take them down and, like, a better smuggler comes in. Or, because there's, like, I've known pretty nice smugglers, right? And I've known, some real dicks.
No, there's nothing good about smuggling.
Well, I mean, it pays well.
Because money is all that matters, right? And then Yumi's just gonna stomp out of the room.
It does pay well.
I don't think that's the... Anyway.
Are you aware of Gellin ever doing anything to put the peace with the elves here at risk?
She purses her lips and thinks. She says,
I'd hope not. It's terribly in it's certainly not in his interest to do so. If the Wild Flame Pact were to be dissolved, Saltmarsh would certainly almost certainly be overrun, and anything that well, it's not as if whatever alliance he might have would prove strong enough to weather whatever sort of incursion the elves might put forward.
I see. Well, it's at least something.
know, if anything, changing topics a little bit, about the creature Zolek.
Well, he's vampiric, from what I understand. The death of a priest is what keeps him sealed in his little bubble thing. That barrier can be passed by certain types of people. We've talked about that a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, if I remember correctly, from what I heard from my grandfather, it was brought to the area anyway, by some merchant, I think. May have been held under his enchanting influence or whatever. And wreaked havoc for a good quarter year or something, for a season, before they were able to catch him and bind him. Lots of people died, from what I understand. Why?
He has become a topic of consideration, unfortunately. His lair is not the right word, but his little home has been found. There were bandits that we're fairly sure are tied to the Scarlet Brotherhood that were camped above it. I don't know that they were. Prison, yes, thank you.
Technically, Yumi's not in the room. She laughs. So.
It's possible that he has aligned himself with Scarin Wave Chaser.
You wouldn't happen to know if he's overheard anything they might have been saying down there?
I unfortunately have no idea what he's heard. We've spoken to him only very briefly. And as little as possible, honestly. It's uncomfortable. He was able to reach through the barrier, I suppose it is, to his prison. I was bitten not too long ago. I'm hoping that that's not enough to strengthen him at all.
She looks, her brow creases, and she thinks. She says,
There's an unfortunate reality where he has information that could help all of us understand more about the Scarlet Brotherhood. I can't imagine he wants anything less than his freedom for it.
That's exactly what he wants. He's made that clear multiple times. So far, we've been unwilling to make that deal with him.
Smart. But also, if there's a way to extract that information without letting him out, I'd be greatly in debt if you could find out what it is he knows.
That's something we can look into, but I'm not in any rush to meet with him again.
Oh, you... particularly if you've been bitten. Be careful. Don't go messing with that wall if you can help it.
any other questions?
Other than Anders, who on the council do you trust the most?
She thinks. She says,
Aleander, he's a good man. He's loyal to the crown. He's very intelligent and has potential to be hot-headed, but I can't really fault him for that. And admittedly, I'm far worse than he is. So. And Ada has everyone's best interest at heart, particularly that of the city. She is a traditionalist, and that I disagree with personally. But she'll always do best by her people before anything else.
About our summation as well, it seems.
Gellen's always been a rat. I don't know Manastrad well enough to give you any good reading on her. Though the few encounters we've had, well, you can't imagine they probably went very well, considering she again points to her pointed ears. Anything else?
I think that covers it for me.
Yes, you've been very helpful. Thank you.
It was nice chatting with you.
So if you hear anything else about the Scarlet Brotherhood, be sure to let me know as soon as possible. It's best we get on so you can get home before nightfall.
Thank you again for your help.
Of course.
And Yumi's outside.
Yumi, is everything okay?
Yeah, sure. I just don't like where the conversation was going.
Well, I understand. Yeah. But no, not everything does have a price. Some of us are here to make sure that right wins the day.
Yeah, but seriously, where is Vakaris? He keeps disappearing.
Hopefully somewhere safe. Or maybe he's decided that he would rather stay in the Fae.
Well, can you all not see him right now?
But we're gonna need his help to, stop Gellen.
I mean, he's right over there.
Yeah, Krellick.
Right there.
Yeah.
Look.
I point behind you.
Ah, the old look behind you trick, huh?
You are very smart, Zashel.
Okay. You guys can get your cart, head back to Saltmarsh. Is that right? Is that what you want to do?
Yes?
I believe so.
Yeah. Is this our cart or is this a cart?
I believe this is a cart.
Okay.
However, Dawn, I'm just checking something.
Did we buy it or rent it before we left? I can't remember.
Rented.
Yeah, I think it was loaned to us, actually.
Yeah, it's Dasani's feature, this one.
It's a rental.
However, I will remind you, Dasani, if you'd like, you can take a 45-minute ritual using your cartographer's tools, your maps, and 50 gold in material components, and take you guys right back home.
Sounds like a plan to me.
All right.
It's like a teleport.
Tale of Safe Travel.
Oh,
This-
that's right.
You and up to 6 other creatures, plus their gear, become encircled in a magical bubble and are pulled to the border ethereal. During the ritual, you tell a story of your future journey, relating details of what can be seen en route. If you'd like to use that anyway, it costs 50 gold to do it.
I'm pretty sure I got that.
Okay. What kind of story does Dasani end up telling about the trip?
Tell us a tale.
Yeah, that's the one part I was. So during this ritual, I guess it's to a point where like he he gets very into it, and he's like he's on a trip,
Oh, are we all on a trip? Is that how it works?
No, you don't have
That's
to.
all.
No.
The consumable components are
Oh my
consumables.
Is this
Yes.
like it's like a Willy Wonka situation?
Yeah, and like
We all eat the magic mushroom and go on a trip with the Sunny. Just
Yeah.
you're back.
I was hoping that's what you would say.
it's not really much of what you see. It's more so like everything is like all beautiful colors and wisps of beautiful sounds and noises. You don't really see structural things, but it's very like riding on a rainbow.
I'm gonna be sick.
Bubble.
Hands and feet inside the rainbow express at all times, you guys. There's no telling what's outside of here.
Yumi attempts to stick a hand out. The colors are so pretty.
Kasami's just
what's going on.
flipping and twirling his hands. His eyes are like droopy, and he's got this big smile on his face.
You all are being very strange right now.
Zashel just can't see it.
Right.
Zashel's magic resistance. He's just kind of like along.
He sees what it actually is, and it's like we're in a bare space, just slowly floating along.
This sucks.
It's just
Zashel.
everything's
So
gray.
this is what you guys get up to all the time, huh? Yeah, okay.
Can't you see it? It's so pretty and magical.
Super magical. Yep.
Don't you have like magic eyes to see everything?
Oh, no, I know. Believe me, I'm seeing everything.
Yumi just kind of nods at that.
Hey, Ted.
Hmm.
Take inspiration for that bullshit.
Well, Zashel, I feel bad. We're all having such a wonderful time, and then you seem a bit perturbed by it all.
Oh, no. I'm having a wonderful time.
See, Zashel just has a hard time displaying his joy right now, like we are. He's
Well,
probably in shock from all the pretty colors.
I'm about to
And
display
Yumi
me
tries-
breakfast.
To grab at whatever imaginary thing is out there.
I think Krelling's about to display some wonderful colors.
It probably looks like he's barfing up rainbows. So yeah, wonderful colors.
We're all very intrigued by his vomit.
Oh no, that's awful. Anyway, you make it back home.
I love that dirty for us.
Oh, yay. I love this story.
Guys, I love this game.
Home sweet home.
Okay, Any things you want to do in Saltmarsh, or do you guys want to go right home?
Well, I think we end up at the lighthouse by the ritual, don't we?
You don't have to. It's just to be somewhere you're familiar with. You're familiar with
Oh.
Saltmarsh. Yeah.
Well, it's up to Dasani. It is his ability.
Yeah.
I mean, does anyone need, or do we want to just go home back to the lighthouse?
Is there like finishing things that need to be done in Saltmarsh to like finish off something?
Not that I know of.
We should probably go see Anders and give him that letter. Out of character, Yumi wouldn't say that.
But like we don't have any current
Yumi's too busy tripping on whatever she's tripping on.
we don't have like any like all the contracts are closed. Like we don't have to go see someone
Correct.
to finish a contract.
Correct.
I say lighthouse. Yeah.
All for the lighthouse?
Yeah, we should probably check in at the lighthouse, I guess. Just to let Abernathy know everything's okay. He got very mad when we didn't do it last time.
Right.
Oh, hey. Do you think Abernathy knew who tied him up?
He
At
might
the
have.
At the time you guys interacted with Sanballet, he had his face covered pretty much the whole time.
We should tell him. We should totally tell Abernathy all of this. And Yumi's probably just stumbling.
Fair enough.
It's okay, Yumi. Everyone has a tough time the first time.
You get used to it.
Okay, you guys arrive back on your island, and there's a couple of interesting things here. You see Sunny out in the yard, fighting off and kicking and being mercilessly chased by about 3 geese.
Yes.
Yumi will start chasing after the geese.
You see Abernathy at the door talking with like some distress to Captain Zendros. She has a little rowboat that has been moored at your little dock, and she has a couple of her acolytes and attendants with her, all carrying some boxes. She seems very persistent at the door, and Abernathy seems very persistent in not letting her through. And when the bubble pops and you all land on the island and Yumi runs off, they both turn to look at you and and then immediately turn back to each other to continue squabbling.
I'd like to also run after the geese, like running after Yumi, running after the geese. And who are they chasing again?
Sunny, the groundskeeper.
Sunny, yeah. I'm gonna chase after all of them, and yell, "Sonny, don't you hurt them geese!" Yeah, I'm running after.
I thought you said we couldn't get geese. And Yumi will squeal as she's trying to catch one.
He's knocked over by a goose who then just keeps snapping at his face, and he's trying very hard to get out from under it and get away. He looks nonplussed.
I'll scoop the goose off him, and try like calm it down a little bit. Like take it away, like as if he was doing the wrong thing, right?
Of course.
Yeah.
Yes.
It like soothe, like, oh, it's all right. It's all right. He won't hurt you.
Can I also pick up a goose?
Yes. I mean, if you know how to actually animal handling check from both of you.
God damn it! You know what, Yumi? You had to say it. Oh God! It's a 9.
No, you did no, not by the neck.
Actually, that's the only way you're supposed to handle a goose.
Awesome.
Yep.
Yumi will listen to Yop and pick it up everywhere except the neck.
And get bitten immediately.
Ow!
Anyway.
Captain Zendros, what a surprise. Forgive my friends there.
Oh, not to
They've
worry.
earned the relaxation.
Not to worry. No. It's just I had the shipments, the imported goods you ordered, and I was trying to. Well, I thought it'd be nice to bring them here. But there seems to have been some sort of insistence that we weren't in, that we were maybe had a miscalculation, misunderstanding, and she glares at Abernathy, who looks rather indignant, and snorts, and she says, "But anyway, I have the things that you ordered, the ring and the quiver of arrows for the arrows, but the two who purchased them seem to be playing with the farm life, it would appear."
Yes. Abernathy, if you will allow her, I will direct her on where to deposit those items.
He huffs and then opens the door and then goes inside. And she nods. "Thank you very much."
Mhm.
And she says, "I also found a couple of things that I figured you might find interesting. Of course, the prices could maybe be negotiated, but as always, I have a firm hand in and ultimate say in the exchange. You understand?"
Okay.
Oh, what other goodies did you bring along with you?
She snaps her fingers and someone produces a crowbar for her. And once you are all inside, she pulls open the crates, and she pulls out a set of leathers, and she says, "This one you can use to disguise yourself to appear as if you're wearing different clothes." And she runs her hand over it, and the leathers change in appearance to glamored studded leather. Um, she says, "This one obviously very useful, very powerful. This one I figured maybe if anyone would have use for it, you all seem to perhaps be an interested party." And she pulls out a very large jug with lots of corks in it. It produces different types of liquids and other things in various amounts and quantities. And then this, and she pulls out then sort of matching brooches, uh, shaped as golden shields, and then in her other hand produces a pearl. Uh, one of these being able to one of these being able to recharge your arcane energies, the other one giving you a little bit of defense up against well, force, understand. So she's got a glamour studded armor, alchemy jug, pearl of power, and a brooch of shielding.
She also has the item that I ordered from her.
Yes, she does.
Sick. I owe money on that, I think.
Yes, 300 gold.
Oh, I have that.
But she does produce the ring, and when you eventually come back into the house,
I still have the goose. It's just pecking at me, but like I don't notice it.
Yumi is still trying to pick one up everywhere except the neck. Like, come here, please. Please. I just want to hug you and name you. Sunny, have you named them yet?
Oh, no, ow, no, ow, no. Zendros produces the ring for Krellick, and as she, approaches you, she stops like a few paces away, and her brow furrows, and you can't really see where her eyes are directed, but she says, "What is that?" And she points to the cuff that you picked up earlier that's hanging on your belt.
Or this. I picked this up, believe it or not, in the Feywild, I think, or some elven city.
Do you mind if I have a look at it?
Has she given me the ring yet?
No, she's still holding it in her hand because you haven't paid her.
I hand her the gold.
Okay. And she hands you the ring.
Yep. I take like spin the ring over a bit in my my clawed fingers. Look back at her.
Yeah, all right.
And I hand the brooch or whatever it is that she wants.
And then she goes over to the bar and sits down at one of the stools and begins to identify, but she keeps her ears perked for if you guys are interested in any of the other things. One of the acolytes, when you get in, Yumi gives you your quiver that you've already paid for.
Oh, Yumi's still outside chasing a goose.
Okay.
In which, at some point, she's gonna yell "duck" really loudly as it flies off and into the lighthouse.
Oh no. Abernathy screams, "Ducks! I thought they were geese!" and then gets hit by a goose.
Not in the head.
Oh, you know what? That's a good name. I'm gonna call this one Duck.
That's a very good name.
It's pretty solid.
Missy comes out from the kitchen and goes over to the goose and grabs it by the neck and then throws it out of the house and then closes the door.
I'm gonna call you.
Y'all said not to carry it by the neck.
She just wipes her hands on her apron and goes back to the kitchen.
I kind of like the one that's pecking at me. I give it a little I point my I hold like a claw at it, and as it's like snapping at my clawed hand,
I'm gonna call this one Rage Fang.
Okay. Rage Fang, Duck, and we have one more, it would seem.
Putting this down.
Yumi will take her quiver and sit down.
Okay.
What were the other items again?
There is the glamour studded leather, the alchemy jug, the pearl of power, and a brooch of shielding.
So, how much for any of those? I'm a little broke right now, and Yumi goes through her money pouch after she got her reimbursement.
She's still looking over the cuff in her hands, like it's suspended between her palms as she's casting Identify, and she just, without looking up, says, 500 for the armor, 350 for the jug, 700 for the pearl, and 400 for the brooches. A minute passes and her spell is finished. She, with it still in her hands, goes back to Krellick and says, with the gold that you gave her, I would be willing to give your gold back if I were to take this item instead.
I mean, what is it?
Well, I don't know if you'd find much use for it. It's used for remembering some things, as well as being able to understand when people speak to you, languages, translation, that sort of thing.
Wait, you mean if I have that thing and people speaking elf near me, I can know it?
But I think you have to be able to wear it.
She looks to the side of your head looking for an ear.
I mean, can you make it so it works?
Maybe I could with time.
And then she tosses the bag of coin in the air.
Sometimes it's nice to know if someone's gonna sneak on you. Yeah. I would like to know if someone's planning something about me friends, so I would like to use it if I can.
She thinks about it and says, "It is your property. I can help you for a price, say 100 gold to fix it."
I will. Yeah, I'll hand her 100 gold if this is something that can let me understand languages. Then for sure.
Copper wire ear cuff allows you to understand any spoken language as directly translated. It also helps you recall any name you've heard as well as relevant details you've heard about them.
Very interesting.
I feel like that's great for Krellick since he called Prime Water Water Boy or something at
That's
Waterman.
true.
The waterman.
Yeah.
Oh no! Erase that part. Scratch that part.
I mean,
You can always give it to Yop as a courting gift.
I mean, like, other people can make use of this item too.
Yeah. You know what that feature means for Krellick is that he remembers the name as he remembers it precisely. So it's still off.
Yeah, if you want 100 gold, she can adjust it for you.
Yeah. I mean, I would love to be able to understand because I don't know a lot of languages,
Mhm.
and he would want to not be at a disadvantage if someone starts speaking another language, because he knows he can do that. Like he can talk to Yop in another language, and they could plan something, and if they wanted to.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, cool.
Right. Anyone interested in making any other purchases?
You mean, will Daisy look at the jug and say, I think I like this. Does anyone else want this? If not, I think I might buy this.
All you, Yumi.
And she kind of shakes the jug a little bit. You said it was 400?
It's 350.
Oh, sorry. 350. She'll hand over 350 for the jug.
She grins at you and hands it over. It feels empty right now.
I don't know, Yumi. That's it. It's not a very pretty jug. Are you sure it's worth 350 gold?
I don't know. You said there's like a lot of corks on it. She's just gonna open a random one, shake it, open a random one, and see what comes out of it.
She Zendros puts her hands on the jug to stop you from shaking it, and then speaks to it, and then honey starts pouring out of it. You have to tell it what you want. It is a limited list of things it can create.
Aww. Just so you're saying I can't just open a random one, roll a dice, and see what I get?
I suppose if you were to pay 50 more gold, I could put an enchantment on it to do that, yes? If you really want it.
No, it's okay. Can I get the list of what I can make?
Sure. She pulls out a piece of paper and scribbles them down for you.
She has now poured honey into a cup and is eating honey with her finger. This is really good honey, guys.
I would like some honey.
She'll pour some more out into a cup for Krellick.
Hell yeah.
Before running off into the kitchen yelling, Missy, do you want any honey? And then kind of shove the bottle under Missy's nose.
She squeaks and then goes to go get some jars so you can start filling jars with honey.
Gallon of honey is a lot of honey.
It's a fucking lot of honey, yeah.
Is there any other things you're interested in?
And you hear some stomping down the stairs, and then what sounds like someone falling down the stairs, and then someone bursting through the door, and Toby and Micah are in the hall. And they say, "Oh, okay.
Did you find the thing then? Did you find it? And she says, of course I found it. I always find what I'm looking for. And they run over to the boxes and retrieve some items that they purchased themselves. And then run outside. They run outside to the training room that you guys have.
Do I dare ask what you've armed? No. Do I dare ask with what you have armed my employees, our employees?
She shrugs and smiles, and she says,
They should be. If you're a little curious, I guess you could go see. They're useful tools. I see them a lot out in the US. That not many people around Saltmarsh have heard of such armaments. I'm very surprised that they even knew what to ask for.
No, I'm sure I'll find out eventually. Try not to be nosy. Oh, it's totally guns. It's totally guns to me. There's no way it's not guns.
and then you hear an explosion outside.
Yumi's too busy filling jars of honey with Missy and then eating some from the cup she had.
Is that a noise it's supposed to make, or should I go in concerned that somebody might be hurt?
I mean, you might want to be concerned someone may be hurt, but it is the sound it's supposed to make.
Okay.
Okay. Is anyone?
Sorry. I was yawning. I do have one thing I would like to order for someone. You are familiar with the spell Sending?
Yes?
If you could deliver a scroll of that to give her the appropriate address. There's a gnome there, Punketta. Make sure that it ends up in her hands. I'll pay for it.
Sure, no problem. Give me one moment.
It's a third level spell, I believe.
Yeah. Which puts it at the. Okay, so it's uncommon, so it'll be 300 plus your $50 fee. 50 gold fee.
No problem.
All right. Okay. Is anyone interested in the other things that she's got? The Pearl of Power, the studded armor, the glamored armor, anything?
Yumi's too broke. She chose the alchemy jar over armor, okay?
I love that about her, and I kind of exactly expected that, so.
Krellick, as a master of the arcane arts, would like the Pearl of Power, but doesn't have the money, so no.
Yep, is all good.
And each one was how much? The armor was 400. The pearl was what?
The armor was 500, the
500.
pearl was 700.
Definitely not the pearl. Do I spend the 500? I'm gonna put up my armor class by like 2, I think.
Yes.
And you get to look pretty.
Yeah, you can make it's still your suit.
It just feels repetitive at that point.
You can change your suit every day. New suit.
Different
new
suit.
suits. New suits.
Change only the tie.
It's like shedding skin.
You
Why is-
cufflinks every day?
It's like changing clothes, Sean.
Okay, it's
What
a snake thing. It's a snake joke, okay?
Okay,
You solved the
okay.
puzzle.
Okay.
Zachel does not wear a tie. Zachel wears a cravat.
That's right. I apologize. I forgot.
Well,
I'm sorry, bow ties are much cooler.
Not
if-
for an attorney.
if you got the money, I mean, the glamored armor is pretty good. And Sarah,
I'm going to forego. I will say.
What is
ahead.
the ring that I bought? What is it?
Oh, oop. The ring of swimming. And 1 moment. There she is.
Sick. Non-attunement?
Apparently not.
Oh, what do you know? All right, cool.
Yeah. Apparently not, because this is the one that's in the module. So it would say if it were.
It doesn't have limited uses, so it's usually not considered attunement. Like there's no recharge, so only one
Hell
person
yeah.
can use it at a time anyway.
One problem solved. What to do in the water. And then she currently has that trinket and is doing something with it, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. So I'll check back with her in some future time.
Okay. All right, folks. Anything else? You want to talk with Abernathy?
Zendros, you've been in town. You don't happen to know what the verdict was for Sanballet's trial? I was out of town.
She looks at one of her acolytes and speaks to them for a second, and then says, "It sounds like you may have been taken to Seaton."
That is the capital city.
She nods. Usually, criminals who are sent that way is for like formal executions or long-term imprisonment. But and she shrugs.
Do you know anyone in Seaton? Could you find out if he arrived?
I could put my ear out. I'm not well known out there, but I could try.
I know people in Satan.
Do you?
Yeah, I spent some time there a while back.
If you could put an inquiry in, I would be. Given what we were told by Kiara, I would like to make sure that he does, in fact, arrive there and receive whatever verdict, punishment was handed down. Make sure
Yeah,
he's
sure.
not, say, in actual air quotes, rescued along the way. I guess there's no reason to air quote that one.
Well, it'll take a while. The message is got to get there and all that, and then get back.
However long it takes, I just want to make sure we're not. I want to make sure we're aware if we need to be concerned.
Yep, just write down exactly what you want.
I will write down, did Reedlow, aka Sanballet, arrive for sentencing?
Okay, I will ask them that.
Excellent, thank you.
Zendros digs around in her pockets for a little bit, pulls out some tools, and then talks again with one of her acolytes, gets some things out of their pockets, and then sits down at the bar again for a second over the cuff, and then a few minutes later just hands it back to you, Krellick, and now it has a lock for a piercing.
Oh. I look at it and go,
What do I do with this?
Could pierce your skin. You could put it on one of your belts or your shell if you wanted, I suppose. It'll stay sturdier, stronger, fixed in location.
All right, thank you.
Of course. Paying customer.
Speaking of that, do we get paid now?
Were you asking?
I'm looking at the rest of the members of Hack Inc.
Oh,
Nick, we've been
Krennic.
paid.
I believe we've fulfilled the obligations of our contract, and we've already been paid in kind.
Oh. Well, when can we do another? Because I don't have a lot of money left.
We have to go into town probably either later today or tomorrow, depending on how long it takes everyone to recover from the trip.
Yumi is coming down from her trip. She's now making food because she's hungry.
Once everyone is ready, we can go into town, and I'm sure there's more work to be had there.
All right, that sounds good. Just let me know when we're all going.
Nathy comes back into the room, gives like a dirty look to Zendros, and just says,
We've been missing you for a few days now. I'm assuming everyone's come back in one piece?
More or less.
I'd be concerned about a less.
Yumi will probably appear now with a platter of battered and fried vegetables with some kind of honey dipping sauce.
Nice.
That sounds
Here
good.
you go, lunch. She looks a little tired and her eyes are all red. Have we told him about the guy? What's his name?
I have not yet.
She will offer.
Abernathy.
Oh.
Go ahead.
Oh, she'll offer Zendro some food as well.
she'll take it. She'll go make herself comfortable by the fireplace. Watch all of you.
Oh, what is it you are talking about?
The attack on the lighthouse not long ago. We have ascertained the identity of the attackers. I'm sorry, I only caught like the last little syllable of that.
I was just and.
We have spoken to Kiara, whom I know you are familiar. The assailant was Reed Lowe. Sanballet is Reed Lowe.
He looks stunned, and then his whole face scrunches up as he's thinking.
Ah!
Did you have any idea that it might be?
Unfortunately, no. Long-term memories are few and far between. But this is good to know, I suppose. Thank you.
and he sort of begins to stumble back towards the hall, back to his room.
Somehow that didn't feel very comforting.
Yop approaches Captain Zendros.
I see you're enjoying the fireplace.
She nods and waves the little fried vegetable in her hand.
You know, funny thing about this particular fireplace, some people see things when they look into it.
Really?
Yes, I've heard tales of two dancing figures that frequent this fireplace. Can you see them?
She looks at you skeptically and then looks at the fire and says, I don't know that I know what you're talking about.
Oh, perhaps it's just an old wives' tale, but I know some people have seen it.
And Yop will wander off.
As you turn away, her hand kind of goes to the fire, and pieces of the flame pull from the fireplace and pick up and sort of dance around her hands, and then she just waves and they dissipate. Oh, are you gonna go see the major, Yumi?
Yes, she is.
Okay. Yeah, you can do that. I'm assuming like you knock, yeah.
Yeah, of course.
You're
Why
right,
wouldn't
yeah.
I knock?
I'm just double checking. It's quiet for a moment, and then you hear, the heavy footfalls of him getting closer to the door, and the door cracking open. And he blinks and just says, "Yes."
Oh, I brought you some lunch that we just made.
Oh, thank you. Often the girl brings me, so thank you. I appreciate this.
Oh, and then she starts digging around in her bag and pulls out a trinket that she bought from the festival for him. We were in... I cannot remember the town name. My head is kind of spinning, sorry. But I saw these and thought they were really pretty.
You give him like a golden chain with as a pin, with some of those, like, I think I talked about it a little bit to you anyway.
Yeah,
Very
like some
thin.
kind of flower pendant.
Yeah. Very thin, almost glass that's been cut and colored and shaped to look a little bit like fire. Yeah. And he just stares at it for a long time in his hand, and he says, "Thank you. It's kind."
Of course, you're welcome. And she kind of gives him a bow before backing up and giving a small wave before leaving.
Where did you say you bought this?
I cannot remember the town name. It was like there was some festival with some elves and a weird tree.
Roll an insight check with disadvantage. Okay. He just nods and goes to close the door. Any other last minute things before?
Krellick would like to find wherever Yumi is.
Okay. She's just upstairs, yeah.
Yumi, are you in your room or are you
Bless you.
someplace else?
No, she's just in the stairways probably when you find her.
Oh, okay. Yeah. After a time, like he just comes looking for you. And Kralik says,
Yumi, can I talk to you?
Sure. About what?
Um, Wells, you know how I had that fight with the big lady?
Yumi will nod slowly.
Yeah, well, it was a good fight, but not so good for me. Um, and I knows that you and I are the strongest warriors here. You
Um,
have
Pretty sure Yop is stronger than I am. Pretty sure Yop is stronger. Also,
well,
Dasani can turn into a bear. That's pretty strong.
well yeah. Look, they all have things they do, but you have currently 6 skulls, and I'm the next highest with 4 or 5. So you the strongest right now, and I wanted to know if you could help me.
Um, with what?
Well, I need to get a lot stronger, and I know that you could maybe help me with it. We got a training thing, but I was fixing to maybe really kind of remake it so it like really gets you going.
Well, like you said, we all kind of have our own special thing. I'm not sure our the way I fight is strong or could help you with yours.
Well, it's not always about who's physically the most strong. I mean, obviously she's very powerful, um, and I was not. I mean, I'm very strong as well. Um, Sometimes it's about knowing more than your enemy if you're fighting them. Um, I just know that you're really good, and I thought you could just help train me.
I can try, sure. I'm not sure it'll be of much help.
I think you will. You have the most skulls, so yeah.
I think I just got lucky with the skulls.
I mean, you killed some wild things, you mean? Well, you killed an ooze, a darkling, a troll, a claw branch, some mouth bag, and a big tree.
Like I said, I just got lucky and I got the final shot. But sure, I'll help you with trying to refit the training room and train.
Thank
We
you.
should start with the geese.
You want to train the geese too?
Well, no, train, I guess practice interacting with the geese. They seem like a tough opponent.
They are most dastardly and deadly.
If we can handle the geese, I think we can handle anything.
he enthusiastically nods to you.
Okay. All right. So a couple of things, real quick, that would be things of note. So while you guys are here, you would also get a little bit of a walking tour of your new boat.
Yes.
Very cool.
Just so I'm clear, our turtle shell is now amphibious, right? Is that what I'm seeing?
It can go on land.
Is it wheels or like magic
It-
hovering?
So what it is is you have the vessel itself, and affixed to its sides are what look like these very broad and massive track-like wheels that at once can spin with the arcane engine so that it can move without rowing or without wind in water. And then it also has the 2 sets of wheels that you can see on the side, and then a set of wheels near the prow that can help it climb, basically under the vessel, that can help it climb onto land and roll over as well.
Hell yeah. Does it have weapons?
Yes, it does. Check out the. Let me make sure I've got it set so you guys can. Yes, okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, check out the character
Ballistas,
sheet.
harpoons. Sick.
Arcano Ballista. Fuck yes.
She's nasty.
A little slow, but it's okay.
It's a boat.
I know.
Hey,
It would just,
hey, fuck you! It's a boat.
A little slow.
Yeah. Also, the lower deck has rooms and quarters, as well as a small cargo hold. As you can see, it can carry some things. Very small amount of people can be on it at a time, relatively. But enough for you guys, plus your 2-man crew that you have hired, and then some as necessary.
Very cool.
Yeah, that is badass.
And it's still painted like a turtle, right?
Yes, I apologize. I could not color
it's
the
okay.
graphic. I spent a good amount of time editing the graphic already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does that have where is it in the journal?
It is under. It's in a bad place. Under.
What?
It's. You got player characters, then you have NPCs. It's under Acquisitions Incorporated. It's the first thing.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And every time it's necessary for that sheet to come up, I'll show it to you guys just to make it easier. Let me think if there's anything else.
I would just I would have a final Krellic thought before the session ends, which is however the time ends up working between now and next session, but like that evening, right? He's in his room. Everyone is quiet and like going to bed, and he's like sitting there at his desk, tapping his claw, looking at the abacus with everyone's skulls on it. And then takes all his skulls and pushes them like to the other side and clears his row, and then we'll put it away and go to bed.
Fucking tragic.
He has a whole mission now, an actual goal in the world.
To fight an archfey and win.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay. Anyone else have anything else they want to do? Dasani, anything from you?
Nah.
Okay.
I think Yumi will go and find everyone else and pass out their necklace pendant things.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, they're slightly. Each of them are unique looking trinkets that look like shaped and crafted blown glass that look like leaves or like fire. Very elven thematic, but they don't look like they're authentically elven made.
They're all in different colors.
Oh.
And
cool.
What color did I give Dasani again? I can't remember. He said not blue, so.
I think he said red.
Sure.
It's all of the colors except blue.
It's no.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's everything but blue. It's like a rainbow. Except
Love
there's
that.
no blue in it.